Welcome to Pure Mind Magic, the show to evolve your mind. Our mind is the most powerful thing we have, but no one teaches us how to use it. When we find out how, we're ready to create magic in life and in business. Learn real mindset secrets from brilliant minds around the world to change your mindset and income level forever. With every decision you make, you create your future. What is your next move? Now, welcome your host, international magician, speaker, and podcast performance consultant, Jennifer S. Royal.
Hi, this is Jennifer, and thanks for joining me to today's episode, the midweek motivation, knowledge versus mindset. When you are new here, please make sure to subscribe to the show. You just have to click one button wherever you are listening to. And with that, you will get notified from now on whenever there is a new episode. Totally free for you, but helping me a lot to grow the show and inspire even more people around the world. So you're probably wondering why I picked this topic, knowledge versus mindset. And this show here is all about mindset and also about creating magic results in your personal life and in business. So why is mindset so important? And why is mindset like the secret magic ingredient to be really successful and to thrive at what you are doing? I will explore that with you in this episode and give you some hints and keys and also things to think about. Before I do this, there are two things I wanted to mention. So, because this episode is also about knowledge, and I think knowledge still is another key, but there's something else you need together with knowledge, like to have the right combination to crack open the safe of your potential. So this is why I recommend like two online courses here. The first is my own. I created that on Udemy like a month ago. So it's pretty new and it has to do with networking and how you can use your network, or the other way around, how you can use podcasting to grow your network. And you don't even need your own podcast to do it, and use this strategy to really create a great leverage. So at the moment you can get 90% off. There's a coupon in the show notes. You can just click on it and enroll directly today. And then you have access lifelong from anywhere in the world. It's about 3 hours in smaller sessions, and you have all resources. I'm sharing all the links on where to find great people to really grow a network that is worth a lot. So where you can profit from in the long term. Check it out, and I'm also happy when you leave a feedback then for this course. And when you want to go even deeper, I found someone who will be a guest on the show here soon. And she's all about influencer marketing. And we can say that podcasting is also kind of influencer marketing, as well as, of course, YouTube and other blogs and other social media icons out there that really can help you grow your business and brand. But I found that there is quite a lot to handle all this influencer marketing, and even when you turn to an agency, it can get really expensive, like up to $10,000 a month that you have to invest to build all of that. So, but with this course, it's an 8-week course with several modules in it, and you can learn everything yourself. So then you do have all the knowledge and can take action right away with it. The link will be also in the show notes. You can also enroll today. Very simple. And then have also access lifelong, and you can learn in your own pace. So you don't have to do it in 8 weeks. Of course, you can do it even faster, or you can take your time to accomplish everything. So check that out. Also in the show notes is just one click away for you to access some new knowledge to accelerate your business and your life in general. So knowledge versus mindset. I found a really good idea in a book, and this book dealt also with mindset. And basically it came down to the following, that everything that stands between you and what you would like to do or have in your life is actually your mindset. So it depends on what you think of yourself, what you believe in, what your beliefs in general are, if you think you are capable of doing it or not. All of that goes into mindset. And the thing is, when you change your mindset, everything will change accordingly. So this is where you start. You're not changing things in the outer world, in your circumstances, with the people that surround you. You really change it in your own brain, in your own mind. And that is where the magic lies. And I think this is still something why people are so interested in mentalism, and why I always mix a good of portion mentalism together with the classic magic or visual magic I do in my shows when I do them, because it's so interesting what's going on in the mind, and reading minds, controlling minds, and mind over matter, like when you influence matter only with your minds, with your thoughts. And we know thoughts are electrical, so thoughts are impulses. And as Napoleon Hill said, thoughts become things. And that is true. So you can see that all around you, and also be aware of what you are thinking, because your thoughts also become things. I mean, sometimes, and almost every time, there is a time delay. So when you think something, it's not that the elephant appears right away or your dream car, but it is set. So it's an energy that goes out with this electric. And when you put emotion together with it, it makes it even stronger. So in this episode, I don't go into the manifesting. I will do another episode on that. So just that you are aware of what you are thinking. Most of your thinking is unaware, of course, but do your best to think more of things you would like to have. And you can trigger that a little bit. So for example, with environmental design. So I came across another tip what I practiced, and it's kind of cool because it's about really getting this new connection up in your mind and having this trigger several times over the day. So I picked two of my main goals at the moment, and I created a picture and also the text with it, because I still think it's best when you involve both hemispheres of your brain, like left and right. So one more for the creative and one more for the analytical stuff. And I designed these pictures and then got them printed in a photo store, like several of them. I think I made like 10 of each. And now I've put them all around my working area, also in my bedroom, in the kitchen, in the hallway. It's like everywhere. And the thing is that the secret here is that you touch it every day several times. So with that, you are creating a new neural pathway in your brain. And every time it gets activated, it reminds you and it pushes you in this direction. And it's cool. It feels cool. It feels really good because I have two things I really would like to have. And I love seeing the pictures, and it's kind of cool to just touch them when I'm walking around and when I'm working. I just have it aware all the time. So when you like, it's a pretty simple kind of magic trick here. Just try it for yourself. You can also just put a note, but I think with the picture you get more emotions involved. So this is the first tip here, to work on your mindset, to improve your mindset, to steer yourself into the direction you actually would like to go. And before we move on with some other examples that clarify and also giving you the distinction between knowledge and mindset and how you combine both of them, I wanted to give another author the chance of presenting herself and the book here on the show. You know, I love supporting other people and people that do everything to make the world a better place. And I found another author, or she found me, like frequency matching here. And her name is Dawn Whitty. And she has a really interesting book with just 2 letters in the title. It's available on Amazon, but I won't give it all away up front. It's Her Time. So be ready to get inspired. Now I have the great pleasure to have another author on the show, and you all know that I'm really a huge fan of authors, people that bring their wisdom and knowledge out into the world to make the world a better and even more magical place. And the author I'm having today really is doing that and living that. So she's very authentic. She knows exactly how to manifest, and she came up with an amazing book that is called Be, just BE, but there's a lot of magic in it. So welcome to the show, Dawn Whitty.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer, for having me.
You're welcome. So please let everyone know out there who you are and what your beautiful book is all about.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity to share. It's kind of funny to call myself an author seems silly, but I've talked to a lot of people that write and they have that same thing. It doesn't seem like a real thing, but I wrote my books to share some information that I think a lot of times when we think about writing, we don't know who our audience is and we think that somebody's going to think, oh, well, that's dumb, or I don't. But I was writing it for my daughters. And I knew that no matter what anybody thought about what I had to say, I knew that this was information I wanted them to understand about the world and about how life works and about how, love and kindness really are currencies more valuable than money. Things like that, and the power of being strong and rising to challenges. So I wrote this book so that I could put all those things into words. And so I broke it down into 7 words. We've heard of the 7 deadly sins. And when we talk in manifesting, we don't talk about what we don't want. So I thought, what do we want to be instead of what do we not want to be? And I came up with the 7 words that I thought that if we all tried to be conscious of every day, that we could live happy lives. And I just see the power of it over and over again.
Fantastic. So it means like that we are free to choose who we are, who we want to be. And it's said that we don't get from life what we want or what we expect, but what we are. So can you give us a few words on that?
Yeah, we cannot change things that happen around us. Situations will happen. Loss is part of life. There are people get sick, and we can't change the external, but what we can change is how we react to it. You can be in traffic and be really, really mad at somebody, and I've done this. So, and then just think, what, I can act like, I can honk my horn, I can yell mean words, or I can just, I can choose to just be calm and stay in my lane and, do my own thing. The way we choose to react to situations, it is a choice that we have. And I think that sometimes we don't realize we do. We just think life is happening to us. But my mentor says that life is happening through us, and we have the power always.
That's very nice. So for who, besides your daughters, did you write this book for?
I wrote it for about 3,000 children that I know and love in Africa. We actually wrote a special little edition of the book for them, and we handed out about 2,000 copies of them to date. Again, it's about the power of love and kindness, the power of being yourself and not being afraid to be yourself. I think, I've been guilty of it too. We think that we're supposed to be like something, and you know what? We're supposed to be like ourselves, and we should feel good in that, because then we're going to bring the best us to the world.
So true. So Dawn, what would you say, what will transform in the life of the reader after reading your book?
I hope it just gives them different ways to look at life and look at things, and also realize that they do have more power. Life isn't happening to any of us. It is, we are life. and I look at the little children in Africa who have very little, yet they are playful and happy and joyful and loving and kind to each other. And I just think, that's a lesson. So, you're having a bad day, and I've had bad days, and sometimes I get, I just need to shut out the world. But, I always try to see a silver lining. I always try to think, it's not as bad as I think it is, and this will pass. And how do I rise above it? And again, the power that we all have, I want readers to understand that we have power.
That's so nicely said. So, Dawn, to wrap this up, can you tell everyone where they can grab a copy of your book?
The book is on Amazon.com. Everybody knows it's Amazon.com. It's B, but you'll have to write my name right now. It's Dawn Witte, Witte, for it to pull up. And the planner also comes up when you put that into the search engine. And I also have a website called DesireToInspireFoundation.org, where you can see pictures of all the beautiful kids and read a little bit about some of the work that we're doing. It's an honor for me to be able to do this work.
Fantastic. And I really can feel that from energy, that this is true, that comes from your heart. And you mentioned also the planner. And I think this is something that's really, really kind of high trend at the moment, like planners and journals. So what can your planner do for the world?
It's about making people more mindful about the power of love, the power of kindness. It is about letting people start tapping back into, a lot of people have lost, that dreaming part that we used to have when we were kids, about the possibility and what we wanted to be when we grow up. We just sometimes just get into the rut of living every day, doing our chores, running our errands, and then go to bed exhausted. But, this helps us to tune back into asking ourselves some of those questions and, kind of finding out what could I be doing to live a life that I love living, that I wake up every day and I'm just happy to do what I do in the world. We want more people to tap into that idea and that notion, and this can help them do that.
That is really great. So I will put all the information on the book, on the planner, and on your website in the show note. Thank you so much once again, Dawn, for coming on today and sharing your fantastic message with us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jennifer. It's been my pleasure.
That was Dan Witte for you. Make sure to check out her book and planner when you are interested. Now let's move on with knowledge and mindset. You know that I'm like the biggest fan of books and also like lifelong learning. And I think that the relearning experience starts after school, after education, probably even after university. So when you are out in real life, especially nowadays, because you have to learn so many new skills and things are changing all the time, especially in the digital world, that you really have to keep up. And just learning one new skill can improve your income drastically. So I found that. And it's interesting. And the funny thing is that all the knowledge is available out there, no matter what you are trying to accomplish. It's very likely that someone did it before and the knowledge is out there, whether it's in form of a book or an audio course or a video course or a complete online course or a workshop or a seminar or mentorship or other mastermind program. It's out there. So step number one is to be clear of what you would like to learn, what knowledge you would like to gather. And then step number two is finding the right resources. And maybe you have someone helping you with doing all the research behind it, because it's very time consuming to find all the books. And You know me, that I have the opinion that books are finding me, and they always come to my inbox. So I'm normally searching them in the middle of the night, because this is my creative time and I'm finding the best there. And the fantastic thing is that with this podcast now, I have the opportunity to invite all my heroes, like my author heroes, into the show and really talk to them and ask them questions, because question is another magical thing that has the power to transform your life. Because when you ask yourself a question, your mind has to come up with an answer. So when you ask yourself these negative questions, your mind will deliver all the negative things why you can't do something or why you can't accomplish something. But when you make this shift over there and just ask yourself, how? So this is a typical magician's question, because everything we are performing on stage or close up is just impossible. So the question would be, how can we make it possible? And this is really valuable. So try that out next time when you hit a problem or another thing you can't move around. Ask yourself, how can you accomplish that? Or when you have your hero or idol or someone who's really successful or in a position you would like to be in, ask, what would this person do? So your mind will come up with answers. There's no other way, because this is what your mind is doing all the time, answering your questions. Brings us also to the inner self-talk. So monitor what is going on and just try to ask yourself other questions. So when you would like to have something, ask yourself, how can you have it? What do you have to change to accomplish that, to do that, to get into that? Or how can you create this momentum that brings you there? What do you have to do to earn some extra $10,000 or whatever? So ask those questions. Very important for your mindset, and also will set your RAS, the reticular activating system, like your inner build filter to that. So your mind will look in your environment everywhere to come up with solutions, with ideas that are relevant to the question you have asked yourself. So you will spot new opportunities, new books, new new seminars, contacts, networking events, whatever. You will be surprised what is going to happen, because you have this filter on now that you are looking for a specific information, for a specific knowledge. And this is why still knowledge is power. And the more you have, the more power you have, because the more opportunities you can see. And the interesting thing is that knowledge is compounding. So there's a compounding effect to knowledge, not only to finances and investments you do. Your knowledge is also compounding, because the more you have, the more connections you can make between all the knowledge to transfer everything into a completely different field. So I'm doing that now all the time with everything I learned from being a magician and learning magic tricks. And I'm able now to transfer this skill set and this mindset into the business area and into entrepreneurship. So I learned it and I twist it, and this helps me to gain even more knowledge and approaching projects and businesses from another angle as everyone else out there is doing it. So very powerful stuff with the knowledge. And as I said, it's accessible everywhere, even in your local library. But when you have an internet connection, and I guess you do because you are listening to this podcast right now, then it's just one click away. Like the answer to your problem is just one click away. And the thing is, people go only online to be entertained or to get the solution to a problem. So hopefully I'm in the best place here, because I do my best to entertain people, but also helping them to solve problems and break through with their mindset to become the mind magician in their own life. So this is kind of my mission behind it. And think of the power you have. I mean, like 100 years ago, this would have been completely impossible to have all this information accessible. So this information was only limited to an inner circle. And those were the kind of magician back then, because they had this knowledge no one else had at that time. But now you can get this knowledge. You just have to know how. And I see the biggest problem there is overwhelm, and that this knowledge is not structured. And this is why I'm such a big fan of all these online courses and why I created my own online course, because I think it's fantastic when you have someone who knows exactly what they are talking about and they have structured everything for you. Because see it like that. It's cool to collect all this information and to know it, but you also have to know what is not important. So having someone who is selecting it for you and pushing you on the track to everything that is relevant, especially for you. And I found that because I think I did like this year from January to now we have June. I think when I know the number correctly, I did 65 online courses I worked through myself, like in the night and whenever I had the time to, sometimes only on audio. And I learned a ton of stuff. And it's for me, like I upgraded my own brain. So it's so powerful. You have to try it. And especially, or best idea to start with my own online course I created, or the other influencer marketing course I mentioned. So very good stuff out there, and keep that in mind. So it's all about structure. So you have like step 1, 2, 3, and this is something we as humans can follow easier as when there's information all over the place. So then we have this kind of blueprint and we know exactly what to do. Think of working out. It's really better when you have someone who's telling you, so you have to do workout A on Monday, you have to do workout B on Wednesday, and you have to do workout C on Friday. Then you don't have to think about it. You just have to plan a blueprint and put that into action. The same works with everything in your mind, all the knowledge you are gathering and hopefully implementing in your life. And I found a fantastic a picture for that. So hopefully that stucks in your mind then. And it's from the book I just found by accident actually, and it's on Audible. So I listened to it as an audiobook while I was driving and walking through Munich. It's called The 8 Pillars of Wealth. And I didn't knew that this book was so good because from the cover you wouldn't suspect it, but you see everything is illusion and everything is different than it appears or it seems, and it's perfectly true for this book. And the author brings the example, because talking about knowledge and mindset, about a car race. So you have one driver, and this driver knows that he has not the best car on the racing track, but from his mindset, he is sure that he will win because he's so determined. He's so focused. He has this hyper focus. He wants to win, and he's visualizing all of that. He's believing in himself. He knows that he can do that and accomplish that, even when he hasn't the best car. Then you have this other driver, and this driver has the best car ever. So this car has all the modifications to it, and it's the fastest car on the track from the technical standpoint. So very modern, very high tech, and just the best of the best car on the track. But the thing is, the driver of this car doesn't believe that he can win. He's just driving, but he doesn't have this determination, and he doesn't believe in himself that he is able to win the race. So here's a quiz question for you. Who do you think will win the race? Driver A with a strong mindset and not the best car, or driver B with a fantastic, super modern car, but the wrong mindset? I think the answer is pretty clear, and hopefully you understand the knowledge or the picture behind it, because meaning it doesn't your skills, all the knowledge you're gathering, you're learning, is worth almost nothing when you have the wrong mindset, like when you think that you can't do it. So then it's nice to know, but nothing will happen. It's like when I say people, it's cool when you know this card trick, but what do you do with this knowledge? It's just that. So you have to have the mindset to think that you are able to deliver a fantastic performance of this card trick to entertain people and give them a special experience, make their day. So it's your mindset. It's not the card trick at all. Same goes for everything you are learning. You can build a ton of knowledge. You can read thousands of books with speed reading in a year. It's then just knowledge when you don't have the mindset that you think you can accomplish something with it. You are determined, you have this focus, you have a clear goal that you're going for. All of that comes down to your mindset. I think this is a really important message here, and this is exactly where it connects. I mean, when you are someone like me who loves to learn new things and you have this mindset that you think you can, then you are unstoppable, actually. So then you are a real magician, able to transform not only your life, but also other people's lives around you. So remember that your mindset is really the magic key to everything you are doing and also to everything you are learning. And it starts when you are starting to learn something new. What is your mindset with what you are sitting down and reading this book or doing this course or listening to this audio recording? What is your mindset behind even listening to a podcast? And I have another example for you to maybe wrap this up, because imagine two people graduating, let's say from Harvard. So they have exactly the same grade when they end there, but their lives will turn out completely different. So it's not in the skills, it's not in the grades they have, it's all in the mindset, what they think they are capable of doing. So the worst thing you can have around mindset is having a fixed mindset. I always say, stay open-minded. You never know from where the solution will come. And the best mindset you can have is having a growth mindset. And when you feel now inspired by everything I was telling you and you are interested in working with me, maybe helping you breaking through a plateau with your mindset and giving you some learning strategies to make your learning even better and to improve your mindset, to seeing new things out there, you can send me an email to puremindmagic@gmail.com. That is simply puremindmagic@gmail.com. And then we can set up like a discovery call and you can find out if this is something I can help you with or not. I think it's all in the frequency. So when there is a match, it will click like clockwork, and then I really can push you a little magical into a new or a better direction, or just help you like getting through this plateau, because we do have this mental plateaus as well as in sports and working out. And when you hit it, you need a new strategy to break through it and to move on. So this is my offer for today. When you like, send me this email. I will put the email address also into the show notes. So I'm very accessible for you and always ready to help. So this got pretty long, this episode. I planned just to give you some insights on the mindset, how important it is and how important knowledge is, but even more how important the connection between knowledge and mindset is. I think you got that now, and I'm gonna wrap this episode now finally up one last time with the musician I'm helping at the time, Sylvester West, with his magic song. So you will hear it now when the episode ends. And when you are interested, you can look it up on Spotify or iTunes and get his song and also his other songs there. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And I do have prepared an amazing interview for you on Friday, for Interview Friday, with an incredible, successful author. His name is Mark Green. And this interview, I think, has also the potential to transform your life and will give you a lot of knowledge to move on. So speak to you soon. Until then, create some magic.
I step into place, the feeling's right. I get you staring like there's something that you like. I see your eyes, I see your soul. Is it the way we kiss, exciting? Baby, your love, I've got to have it. Is it the way we touch like magic? Baby, your love is so fantastic. Is it the way we kiss, enticing? Baby, your love, I've got to have it. Baby, you chose me. Choose you, girl. When you saw me, you knew exactly what I'd do to you. You feel my heat when we touch. Is it the physical, or can it be truly love? Like magic, baby, your body's so fantastic.